I thought I had the perfect life, a loving husband, a beautiful home, two wonderful kids. Our life was like a picture from a magazine, filled with laughter, shared dreams, and quiet, comfortable evenings. David and I had been married for 12 years, and I believed I knew him better than I knew myself. I trusted him completely. That was my first mistake. It all started so subtly. A late night at the office here, a last-minute business trip there. I didn't question it. David worked hard for our family, and I was proud of his dedication. But then the small things started to add up. He became more protective of his phone, angling it away from me whenever a message popped up. He started dressing better, wearing cologne even on weekends when he was just running errands. A little voice in the back of my mind whispered that something was wrong, but I silenced it. I didn't want to believe it. The real crack in my perfect world appeared on our anniversary. I had planned a special dinner, cooked his favorite meal, and even got the kids to make him a card. He called an hour before he was supposed to be home. "Honey, I'm so sorry," he'd said, his voice strained. "Something's come up at work, a huge deadline. I'll have to stay late. I'll make it up to you, I promise." The disappointment was a physical ache, but I told him I understood. I told him to be safe. I put the food away, blew out the candles, and cried myself to sleep. The next morning, while doing the laundry, I found a receipt in his pants pocket. It was from a fancy downtown restaurant, dated for the previous night. The charge was for 2 main courses and a bottle of expensive wine. It wasn't a business dinner. My heart hammered against my ribs. I felt sick. The denial I had clung to for so long was crumbling, and the truth was terrifying. For a week, I was a ghost in my own home. I went through the motions, packing lunches, helping with homework, smiling at David, but inside, I was screaming. I needed proof. I needed to see it with my own eyes. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. It felt sordid and desperate, a betrayal in itself, but I had to know. The investigator was a discreet, professional man who listened to my story without judgment. 2 days later, he called me. "I have the photos," he said, his voice gentle. He emailed them to me, and I opened the file with trembling hands. And there it was. David, my David, laughing with a woman I didn't recognize. Her hand was on his arm was around her waist. In one photo, they were kissing, a passionate, carefree kiss outside a hotel. The world went silent. The air left my lungs. It was like watching a movie of someone else's life, except the lead actor was my husband and the set was my shattered reality. The woman was younger, vibrant. Everything I felt, I wasn't anymore. The pain was indescribable. It wasn't just sadness. It was a profound sense of erasure, as if the last 12 years of my life had been a lie. I didn't confront him right away. I needed a plan. I spent the next few days in a daze, talking to a lawyer, figuring out my finances, and leaning on my sister for support. She was my rock, reminding me of my strength when I felt like I had none. I realized this wasn't just about his betrayal. It was about my survival, my future, and the well-being of my children. The confrontation happened on a Sunday morning. The kids were at my parents' house. I calmly asked David to sit down. I laid the photos on the coffee table between us. I'll never forget the look on his face. The color drained from his cheeks. He went from confusion to shock, to sheer, unadulterated panic. He started sputtering excuses. It was a misunderstanding. She was just a colleague. It wasn't what it looked like. But the photos didn't lie. I stayed calm. I told him I knew everything. I watched as the man I thought I knew disintegrated before my eyes. He finally broke down, sobbing, begging for forgiveness. He confessed everything. Her name was Chloe. They'd been seeing each other for 6 months. He said he was unhappy, that our life had become routine, and that he never meant to hurt me. But he did hurt me. He had destroyed the foundation of our family. He pleaded. He promised it was over, that he'd do anything to fix it. But something inside me had snapped. The trust was gone, and I knew it could never be rebuilt. "I've seen a lawyer, David," I said, my voice steady. "I want a divorce." That was the moment his world truly ended. The idea that I would actually leave him seemed to be something he had never considered. He saw his affair as a secret escape, a fantasy life that wouldn't affect his real one. But the truth had consequences, and the truth didn't just hurt him. It destroyed the carefully constructed image he had of himself. The weeks that followed were a blur of legal meetings and painful conversations. He lost more than just his wife. When the truth came out, our mutual friends, people who had stood at our wedding, were shocked. Many of them sided with me. His reputation at work suffered when rumors started to spread. He moved into a small, sterile apartment that looked nothing like the warm home we had built. He tried desperately to win me back. Flowers, letters, tearful voicemails. But he wasn't mourning us. He was mourning the life he had lost. He was mourning his comfort, his reputation, his perfect image. He had taken our life for granted, and in his pursuit of a fleeting thrill, he had set fire to everything that mattered. As for me, the journey was incredibly difficult. There were days I could barely get out of bed, but with therapy, the support of my family, and the unwavering love for my children, I started to heal. I learned to separate my identity from my marriage. I rediscovered parts of myself I had forgotten: my love for painting, my desire to go back to school. I started to build a new life, one that was just for me and my kids. It was smaller, quieter, but it was honest. There were no secrets, no lies hiding in the shadows. It was real. Sometimes I see David. He looks older, tired. The confident, charming man I married is gone, replaced by someone haunted by his choices. He thought his secret affair was a separate chapter, but it turned out to be the last page of the book he was writing. The truth didn't just come out, it consumed him. My story isn't a happy one, but it's a story of survival. It's about finding strength in the deepest pain and realizing that sometimes the end of one life is the necessary beginning of another. It's a painful reminder that the truth always comes out, and its impact can be devastating. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're going through something similar, please know you are not alone and you have the strength to get through it. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories. See you next time.